There are some football players who have been cursed throughout their careers, and one of the best examples is Wan-Bissaka. Now, this may be an unusual choice, as the former Man United defender has never been considered a superstar or anything like that. However, he does have excellent qualities, being one of the best defensive fullbacks in the game. Yet shockingly, he hasn't made a single appearance for the England senior team in his 7-year professional career. This is because his position has been crowded with top players like Trent Alexander-Arnold, Kyle Walker, Reece James, and Kieran Trippier. He hasn't ever been given the chance to shine, despite wearing the colors of a prestigious club like Man United during that time. Not even a call-up. And to really understand how crowded that right-back position is in England, just remember that Kieran Trippier was moved to left-back in 2018 so that at least half of these talented players could start. Yes, the right-back curse that has befallen the current West Ham player may change in the future, but what has happened to Marco Reus will remain forever. The former German international is often regarded as one of the most unlucky players in the game, embodying a curse of injury and trophy misfortune. In 2014, Reus suffered a devastating ankle injury just days before the World Cup, ruling him out of Germany's victorious campaign in Brazil and their memorable triumphs over Brazil and Argentina. The blow was a huge personal tragedy, as he missed out on lifting football's most prestigious trophy with his national team. Despite being an integral part of Germany's side in the years that followed, Reus never won any major international honors, playing in just 2 major tournaments for Die Mannschaft, Euro 2012 and the 2018 World Cup, and also missing out on Euro 2016, Euro 2020, and the 2022 World Cup due to injury. And that's not all. Reus's bad luck has also extended to his club, Borussia Dortmund. He joined Dortmund in 2012, just after they had reached their peak under Jurgen Klopp, when they won back-to-back Bundesliga titles. Since then, Reus has seen his team finish second in the Bundesliga a total of 7 times in 11 years, always in the shadow of Bayern Munich. He also played in 2 Champions League finals, both at Wembley, but both lost, against Bayern Munich in 2013 and Real Madrid in 2024. Reus will always be a symbol of resilience, but he will certainly be remembered as one of the unluckiest players in history. Undoubtedly, one of the most what-if ballers out there. Now, before we continue, just a quick reminder to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Okay, let's get back on topic. Yes, Reus is definitely devastating, but what about Antoine Griezmann and his La Liga trophy curse? Now, we all know him as one of the most skillful and consistent players of this generation, having played in the Champions League final and 2 World Cup finals, as well as winning football's most prestigious trophy in 2018. However, when it comes to winning La Liga, fortune has not been on his side. After arriving in Spain in 2005, he spent his first 4 years at Real Sociedad's academy and made his debut for the club in 2009. And in those 15 years, Griezmann has been one of the most dynamic strikers in the league. But his journey in La Liga has been marked by the frustrating absence of a league gold medal. Griezmann's La Liga curse seems to be down to timing and circumstance. During his best years at Atletico Madrid, he was part of a team that pushed the boundaries of what was possible under Diego Simeone, but always came up just short of the big prize. In the 2013-14 season, just before Griezmann's arrival at Atletico, the miracle happened, and Atletico finally won the league in the midst of Barcelona-Real Madrid domination. Since then, Griezmann has watched from the sidelines as his club has struggled against the 2 giants of the league. Finally, in 2019, Griezmann made the bold decision to move to Barcelona, where he believed he would be guaranteed the title. However, it was this transfer that plunged the club into a catastrophic financial crisis, along with other terrible decisions made by the board, such as bringing in Ousmane Dembele and Coutinho for a total of 300 million euros. At the same time, Atletico Madrid won the 2021 title, much to Griezmann's disappointment. But that's not all. With La Liga still out of his hands, he returned to Atletico. And guess what? Barca won the title in literally the first season after he left. It would seem the footballing gods have their little jokes, and this is definitely one of them. Now, this next one, however, has nothing to do with jokes, because it literally prevented us from seeing the full potential of one of the greatest strikers in history, Marco van Basten. Widely regarded as the best Dutch striker the game has ever seen, was incredibly talented and worked miracles during his time at Ajax and Milan at club level, and of course for his national team, winning their only major tournament, Euro 1988. Unfortunately, Van Basten suffered a series of 5 serious ankle injuries, the first 4 of which caused him to miss 55 games for both Ajax and AC Milan. Moreover, each of these blows diminished his extraordinary talent and mobility. Known for his elegance, skill, and deadly finishing, Van Basten's ankles simply couldn't cope with the physical demands of the game. Despite numerous surgeries and painful recoveries, his ankles continued to betray him. And then came the 1993 Champions League final. AC Milan against Olympique Marseille. It was late in the game when French defender Basile Boli's brutal tackle on Van Basten twisted his already fragile ankle. The injury was literally the last straw, and aged just 28, Van Basten was forced into early retirement. It was a devastating end for a player who had just won his 3rd Ballon d'Or and was regarded as the finest striker of his generation. The Dutchman spent the next 2 years trying to recover and resurrect his career, but it was at the end of the 1994-95 season when he was sent out in a spectacular farewell ceremony in front of over 70,000 fans at the San Siro. Now, so far we've seen the unluckiest player in a single league in Antoine Griezmann, the unluckiest position in a national team in Wan-Bissaka, and the player with the unluckiest career overall in Marco Reus. But do you know who has had the most cursed year in football history? Another German by the name of Michael Ballack. Now picture this, you're one of the best midfielders in the world. You play for the best German club, which is one of the best in Europe. After over 8 months of incredibly hard work, you have the chance to become one of the few clubs to win the league, the Cup, and the Champions League in one season. And it all comes down to 4 games. The last 2 rounds of the Bundesliga and the 2 finals of the German Cup and the Champions League. And they deserved it, playing some of the best football in Europe, dazzling fans and pundits alike with their attacking style and fluidity. But fate had other plans. First, Leverkusen lost the Bundesliga title in heartbreaking fashion, dropping crucial points in their final 2 games to allow Borussia Dortmund to steal the crown. Then, just days later, they were beaten by Schalke in the DFB Pokal final, dashing their hopes of domestic glory. And then, the icing on the cake. In the Champions League final, Leverkusen took on Real Madrid only to be crushed by a stunning volley from Zinedine Zidane. 3 finals, 3 heartbreaking defeats in the span of just 2 weeks. And as if that wasn't enough, Ballack then led Germany to the final of the 2002 World Cup in Japan. Suspended for the final against Brazil because of a yellow card in the semi-final, he watched helplessly from the sidelines as R9's double-sealed another defeat. For Ballack, 2002 was a year in which everything seemed possible, but which ended with nothing but silver medals and a sense of what could have been. And now, arguably the most cursed footballer of this generation, Harry Kane. England's all-time leading goalscorer is infamous for the fact that, at the age of 31, he still hasn't won a single trophy in his career. He even moved to one of the world's most one-sided leagues and donned the jersey of the biggest club there, Bayern Munich, but still failed to win his first professional trophy. A world-class striker, Kane has been a prolific goalscorer for Tottenham Hotspur, England, and now Bayern Munich. But his efforts in front of goal have yet to be rewarded with gold. In 2015, Spurs finished runners-up in the League Cup, losing out to Chelsea. In 2016, they missed out on the Premier League title after a dramatic late-season collapse, finishing 3rd behind Leicester City with a very real chance of winning the title in the final 4 rounds. The 2019 Champions League final against Liverpool was then another opportunity for Kane to break the curse, but Tottenham ended up losing 2-0 in Madrid. The 2021 Carabao Cup final was another defeat, this time at the hands of Manchester City. On the other hand, his struggles within the national team are well known. At Euro 2020, Kane captained England to their first final in more than 50 years. But heartbreak followed as they lost on penalties to Italy at Wembley. The same thing happened again this summer. Kane was hugely influential for his team, leading them to another European final, but they lost again to Spain. Ultimately, it would be a miracle for Kane to end his career without a trophy, especially as Bayern will somehow manage to win the Bundesliga or the German Cup at least once during his time at the Allianz Arena. Even so, his case will forever remain one of the most curious in world football. And last but not least, the curse of the Champions League. Now, do you have any idea who we're going to be talking about? Many great players have been unlucky enough to miss out on the most prestigious club trophy, but nobody comes close to Zlatan Ibrahimovic in this regard. Much like Griezmann, Ibrahimovic was also an icon, renowned for his talent, charisma, and unparalleled self-belief. And he surely regrets missing out on the only club award he could not add to his CV, a Champions League title. In 16 seasons with Europe's biggest clubs, including Ajax, Juventus, Inter Milan, Barcelona, AC Milan, Paris Saint-Germain, and Manchester United, the trophy has remained elusive. Ironically, in a twist that seems almost scripted, both Inter Milan and Barcelona won the Champions League immediately after his departure, Inter in 2010 and Barcelona in 2011. After all of those teams have played a total of, drumroll please, 16 finals. Yeah, that's right. 16 finals during his playing career, and he hasn't managed to play in a single one of them. What a shame, really. And the obvious reasons are timing and bad luck, of course. At Inter, Zlatan played a pivotal role in the club's domestic success, but left just before Jose Mourinho's side achieved European glory. At Barcelona, he struggled to fit into Pep Guardiola's tactical system and left before their triumph in 2011. In the years that followed, despite his best efforts at PSG and elsewhere, the trophy remained tantalizingly out of reach. And now, more than a year after his retirement, Zlatan's absence from the Champions League feels like a cosmic joke, a rare blip on an otherwise unstoppable trajectory. Many players, such as Gianluigi Buffon and Ronaldo Nazario, could also be added to this list, but Zlatan will always be at the top of it, largely because of the number of great clubs that he's played for. And now, to make it a bit more entertaining, what other examples can you think of? Which curses that weren't mentioned today made the biggest impression on you? Give us a hint in the comments section down below. Of course, if you made it this far in the video, that probably means you've enjoyed it. So don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.